do you feel about poetry?
Poetry? Why the hell are you asking me about poetry?
For the camp of an official Adiran envoy, I was expecting a little more. A proper bed, at least. But I suppose this will do for now. As long as you have a bath, of course. I always ask nicely. But as riveting as it is to complain about our accommodations, I imagine you have another topic in mind? I'm the only buyer you'll find here, and I already have the jar. A lesson for next time, darling. It's always worth some haggling. Unfortunately, it's been quite some time since I've met another who focused on the godless as I do. And I imagine I'd be more knowledgeable on the subject than anyone else you could find. I've yet to be burned in a single flame trap, and I don't intend to start anytime soon. Fair guess, though. When I got my first grimoire as a child, I was trying out some of the fancy new spells I'd been given. I was attempting a simple illusion spell, but I must have slurred my words. The next thing I know, everything was on fire. That was my assumption as well. Barrett's balls, it's nice to know I won't have to dumb things down with you. What is childhood but for silly things? When else can you get away with arson? My father was able to pull me from the flames as my mother doused them. I burned myself badly enough to give myself some vivid dreams, but the house still stood at the end. Of course. Now I only burn those that deserve it, like mosquitoes and university administrators. The only lasting damage was my burn mark and the dreams. Nightmares are still dreams, envoy. Just not ones you'd recommend to others. They're not nearly as enjoyable as my more, provocative dreams. Oh. Well, just be sure to have a quick release knot if you ever make that fantasy reality. Someone should learn from my mistakes. I certainly have no intention to.
Goodness, we're feeling very honest today, aren't we?
As delightful as you are, we've much to do and less time to do it in. Shall we go?
I've been researching the Hollowborn crisis.
Listening to Yatsley's thoughts about godless ruins is one thing. Bringing her along for the rest of the trip is something else. Right. Soap is useful sometimes, but I don't pour it in my drinks. If she's read anything about the garden, it was written centuries ago. Obviously, things have changed since then. Bothered? Pedraku. It's my job to guide you as safely as possible. What you're doing isn't safe. I'll go along with whatever you decide. Just don't be disappointed when she doesn't show you what you wanted to see. Anyway. Let's make sure they're not listening. The only one we haven't talked about is Yatsley. I don't trust her any further than I could throw her, which honestly isn't that far. She actually goes down into these ruins on purpose, just to see what's down there, I guess? And now she's trying to lead us to the garden. Might as well be searching for WoW's wacky wagon of mysteries. I'm sure she knows what she's doing, but what if she doesn't? Ask away. Yes, I did. The less we talk about that, the better. No, I really don't. Let's lay this out, Envoy. How about this? You don't worry about my life story, and I won't roll my eyes every time you start talking about souls. Now, we just met, Envoy, and I'm here to do a job. Maybe we'll be best of friends someday, but this isn't that day. Best we just keep things professional. All right. Can't say you'll get a different answer, though. Well, I'm one of the very few people who spends most of their time out in the wilds and haven't gotten themselves killed yet. I know the difference between hay-bleed toxin and high-tox bloom, which is something you should be really thankful for. And you know the Balrog and the Grinning Balrog? No, but I am one of the few who have seen a Balrog and lived. Mostly because I had the brains to run the Dragu out of there. The key is survival. I understand that, and a lot of people don't. And that's why they're dead, and I'm still here. We're gonna get you where you're going, Envoy, alive and with as few blithe-tailed bites as possible. That, more or less, is all you need to know about me. Oh, do tell. We've already talked about this. I hope this isn't going to be a problem. Right. Well, until then, let's just keep things professional. No, I didn't poison that drink. Even the rankest Nimdude walking doesn't deserve that kind of death. They clearly heard about my reputation and thought I'd do something like that. Question is, why would he drink from that cup? Right. Why do they do what they do? The mystery of the baby wit in its natural habitat. If he was a real hunter, he'd have studied his target and known what I was capable of. Lucky for me, he was just a tourist in need of a good reminder. More often than you think. Someone's always trying to get a reputation by going after people who have one. Turns out those of us who have a reputation sometimes came by it honestly. What do you need? Oh, you noticed. I don't know. I've heard stories all my life about the gods and magic, and they never seem to do any good for anyone. Right, sure. But from what I've seen, it mostly causes problems. Magic gives a lot of power to some people and leaves others helpless. And animancy? Don't get me started on messing with other people's souls. That's just not right. It's just Pargrunan wilderness lore, developed over the centuries in Solace. Tricks, traps, gadgets, nothing more. But hey, if people want to think it's magic, then go ahead. I'm not gonna bend over backward just to seem internally consistent. Almost all of them. Andra pulling down the moon to destroy civilization, the Godhammer bomb, all that stuff down in the Deadfire. No one as fickle as those gods seem to be should ever be put in charge of reincarnation, I tell you that. Ah, yes. Agree to disagree. Spoken like a true envoy. Right, sure. But from what I've seen, it mostly causes problems. Magic gives a lot of power to some people and leaves others helpless. And animancy? Don't get me started on messing with other people's souls. That's just not right. I mean, feel free to cast all the spells and cry out to whatever gods you like. I won't stop you. Just don't expect me to join in. Same one you are. What kind of blessed question is that? Oh, I see. I sometimes use Lember without really thinking about it. That's what you mean, right? Lember is the language spoken in Solace, though everyone knows Adiran because it's a common tongue. You don't hear Lember much in the rest of the lands. Makes it easy to see which of us are from Solace and which aren't. I barely realize I'm doing it anymore. If you want to learn Lember, you'll have to spend time in Solace. And that's not going to happen anytime blessed soon. Because Solace doesn't love outsiders. I can't be more plain than that. I'm sure you'll pick it up as we travel. It's not that blessed difficult. Right, changing the subject. Let's make sure they're not listening. The only one we haven't talked about is Yatsley. I don't trust her any further than I could throw her, which honestly isn't that far. She actually goes down into these ruins on purpose, just to see what's down there, I guess? And now she's trying to lead us to the garden. Might as well be searching for WoW's wacky wagon of mysteries. I'm sure she knows what she's doing, but what if she doesn't? Not before I've done some reading. I suppose if you're on a wild goose chase, there are worse places to do it. I thought I'd give it a try, see how it feels. Yatsley's got you going in all sorts of abandoned ruins. Who knows what's down there? More questions, most likely, and spiders. No, why would I be? I just want to make sure we've covered all the options before we dive headfirst into another deadly ruin. Right. Just keep it in mind, I guess. Anyway. You too.
The dream scourge is getting worse. First our land, then our animals. Now our people. If we don't put a stop to it, we're looking at the end of the living lands. How can anyone expect us to do both? As if the dream scourge wasn't enough of a problem, the Adirans are profiting off our misfortune. They haven't come to help us. They're here to exploit our weakness. Agreed. They can no longer hide in the shadow of benevolence. It's too bad. We're fighting for our lives, our souls, and our freedom. I don't know if we can win all three. You really think so? My apologies for acting cynical, but it feels as if nature, politics, and even the very gods are working against us. I don't appreciate being backed into a corner, but here I am. Despite everything that's happened, I'm so grateful to be working with Yatsley. In many ways, Quilici has been like a second father to me. But Yatsley, she's like my dirty aunt who's up to no good. As long as you don't feed her after midnight. She gets gassy, temperamental, and somehow it's your fault. While I have your attention, I've been thinking. Why is Inquisitor Ludwig suddenly interested in godless ruins? She's a smart one, I'll give her that. We should be ready for anything. Something tells me Ludwig isn't finished with us yet. You want to talk? Let's talk. Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. Of course, she's brilliant, open to anything, and sees the world as she wants it to be. Yatsley gave me my first glass of wine, and the courage to approach a special someone. We have a lot of catching up to do. No one to get jealous over. To call it a relationship would be an insult to the word. But it was fun while it lasted. Animancy is the study of life. Unfortunately, we get so busy that we forget to live. So a little roll in the hay is good for the soul. Yatsley taught me that. Well, not the part about rolling in the hay. That was my idea, and I don't recommend it. Indeed, old friends. When they died, Yatsley protected me. Made sure I had one consistent person in my life. I think that's why she gave me that glass of wine. Why she encouraged me to live my life to the fullest. She was making sure I hit all the milestones I could have missed. Now that she's traveling with us, maybe she can teach you a thing or two. I think that covers everyone. And if my good opinion changes, you'll be the first to hear about it. You too. I once...
Thirdborn. If it weren't for the Leviathan skeleton in the middle of town, I'd hardly recognize the place. 6 years ago. Feels longer now. You ever come back to a place and feel like the buildings are smaller and the colors are duller? And home just wasn't the same. Thirdborn was always this rugged oasis. Dangerous and out of the way, but bursting with vitality. It was a harbor for larger-than-life types. People like Capo, the Leviathan Slayer, and Tama. Glory seekers, trophy hunters, warriors trying to leave their battles behind. People who built around their stories and their scars. Me too. Being back. It felt like we were watching Thirdborn die a slow death. True. But I can't help but feel that the Thirdborn I knew 6 years ago would have faced it better. I think what's eating at me is that Thirdborn seems rudderless. The Dream Scourge is one threat. Conflict with Adir is another. The Living Lands is changing, and Thirdborn feels like a barnacle on a moving ship. Temerity's leading them as best she can, but towards what? What are we doing out here besides surviving? Or it'll go the way of the godless and their ruins. I'm not sure which idea makes me more uneasy. What about you? You were sent by your emperor to investigate the Dream Scourge. Since then, you've died, met a secret god, and gotten swept up in tensions between your empire and our scattered settlements. You've been consistent. You brought Egwolf to Adir's justice, and the Steel Garrote's attack on Fjord went forward. Do you know what you're sailing towards, or are you drifting with the tides? That kind of clarity is rare. Thanks for talking. I hope Thirdborn is able to find its way somehow. So did my commanding officers. You're asking me? I'm not much of a gossip. Okay, who do you want to know about? You know, just when I was thinking our little group was getting too solemn and serious, we met her. Sometimes I think she lives in her ruins and grimoires rather than in the real world with the rest of us. But she keeps things interesting and keeps us on our toes. What's more, she's a good friend to Giada, and Giada's a good influence on her. I'm pretty sure Yatsley flirts with everybody. I don't read anything into it. Don't get me wrong, she's a striking woman, but she and Quilici have a good thing. I'd never get in the middle of something like that. Yeah, and both of those subjects fly way over my head. I prefer dealing with things I can see and make sense of. I just hope she keeps some part of herself grounded with the rest of us. She's brilliant, but I worry that the real-world consequences of the forces she plays with are academic to her. Maybe I shouldn't. Sure. Holler if you need anything else.
Seeds of change, their petals sprout across the barren land. They sing to the unwanted ones, and the unwanted ones sprout in turn. The soil remembers what it once was. It will soon be whole, safe. The soil does not want these cities. It yearns for silence, for the kestrel song. But first, the sprouted ones will grow. They will bring the stillness and the bird song. The air was not meant for voices. The soil was not meant to carry buildings. We want all of them gone. We wish for life to flourish again. Efforts paid in blood, they lie to the earth, to themselves. Death nourishes the soil. All things come from the rot. The spider devours her mate to lay her eggs. We ponder, dream of shifting sands now. We will speak again.
Big mistake! Dodge this!
I've got to hurry before the paint dries out. Oh, hello. A hero passing by on a noble quest, are you? It seems everyone I meet is on some kind of quest these days. Of course, I won't pry. A sense of mystery must keep you safe. It's the same way in art. Always wondering what to hide, what to reveal. I've been trying to capture the essence of the sand sea for days. The sands are alluring, but confounding. I I'm missing something. What do you see? The specks of sand glitter like gold. No other land can compare. Wait, gold. That's it. That's the dimension I was looking for. You have. Thank you, traveler. Now, I've got to get to work. Perhaps a more vibrant orange.
We've got company!
Let's finish this. Not bad for a scholar. Not bad, envoy. Leave some for those in need. We've got company.
hear the dust whisper on the wind? A temple built on sand, water diverted from its course, the sea runs dry. Now our memory is a wound reopened. You are Nimana, one of those who speak for us. Your gift shone a different shade from others of your kind. The souls of the departed danced before you like sea foam. Tell us, what did you make of the songs they sang to you? A mouth, a conduit, a welcome curiosity. One day a voice called you to the wilds outside your village. Find us in the highest heights, we said. Come, speak to us. You left your world behind, set off upon uncharted sea. Cocoon, a traveling cloak, break down to transform the self. One day, you came to the place where the stone challenged the clouds. Night fell, 100 blazing lights refracted in the sky. We appeared, your essence joined with ours. We shared what we had seen. You perceived us in new colors. Tell us, Nimana, what did you learn? We hoped you would speak in the silence. Find the answer yourself. You sailed home to the village, eager to share what you had seen. We prickled. Something was wrong. Trouble like salt on the breeze. People had chased the water back. They raised the wood and stone. They built a tremendous temple. They offered us their stores of food. They cowered. They felt the shifting sands. They feared you. They feared us. They tried to placate, to control. Your eyes turned up. You saw a statue, a prison. This was not our form. A wellspring boiled. Our cry rose in your throat. This could not stand. A tongue bitten. You hung your head. They piled the offerings higher. Why did you not speak for us? The cub cannot know its strength. The ground shakes. The thorns prick. A crack carves through the pillars. Why? The tide surges. It drowns us. It was. The echo cannot deafen us. We remember now. A cut. A chasm as deep as the sea. A wound gouged into our skin in our thrashing. We did this. Purge the poison. let it out. The only path is through. The sun rose on the barren earth. We had swallowed the village. Nothing but ruins remained. Those who survived were cast adrift, whales beached on the sand. You could have led them, but in the chaos, you had disappeared. A voice ignored until it was too late. People again condemned to wander. A village, one day rebuilt. In time, all those who spoke for us came to Thirdborn to face their fate. Tradition without memory, the trial of unknown lineage. We saw the clay settle on the Ammonite, and we learned. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We grow. We grow.
Sister? Hey there, sister. You here for a dip? Or we can get right to business, 'cause a glint in your eye says you're here for a reason. No shit! Is it a special occasion? Should I wear my nice shorts?
It's at the Swordfish. I don't think you need to worry about formality.
It's been a long time coming. You talked to the others yet? Well, you know how it is. Captain says one thing, maybe we say another. Maybe we had a deal go sideways. Maybe it was politics. Maybe the deal was also kind of politics. See, old Captain likes an empire. Loves all the pomp and circumstance. Wronga, though. Nothing gets her madder than people thinking anyone could be born to wear a crown.
Many are born to wear a crown, but few have earned the privilege, and none of them deserve it.
Color me shocked if everyone shows up, but I'll be there. Shorts and all. And hey, thanks for getting this all set up. It'll be good to see the others again, even if it is the last time.
Don't have too much fun.
End of God! No!
Cease.
I was worried for a second.
Just one measly dungeon, how bad can it be?
No, Dario, I'm not doing this. This is your fault. You went soft on that merchant. Barely nicked him. Reckon he lived and ratted us out to the constable. So we're gonna lay low in these ruins and sit on our haul. Who knows? Maybe we'll find treasures inside that'll make us rich. Rich? You're gonna kill us all. Wow's eyes. Who are you? Hey, first of all, we only bled that merchant a bit. Still quite alive when we left him. I don't like this, Dario. This is how we get ourselves killed. First you said we should come to the living lands, and I went with you. Stealing from that merchant was your idea, though. And credit where credit is due. It was a solid one. Now you want me to break into some dungeon full of traps? I've had it. Kuta Bao, if it bothered you that much, you should have said so. Told you we should have gone into the ruins instead. I told you it'd be simpler. Now look what happened.
Get off me!
They're coming!
Oh. Yeah.
Feel safe!
Yeah.
Nicely done!
Oh.
Protect the envoy.
Someone's eager to meet us.
We're not getting in through there.
Never had a chance. You asked for it.
In retrospect, I should have seen that coming. A marvel of engineering, this place. I can't believe it's still standing.
Love to see someone else so active in their twilight years.
No way forward from here. Looks like we weren't the only ones searching for the heart. Not bad for a scholar.
signs would open the door at the left. Well, who's ready to not believe any more signs?
legendary fish king. There's our heart.
Yes, of course. Everything but the treasure was trapped. How silly of me to assume otherwise.
Thank Aethys. I thought you'd never come out of there. I've been waiting for ages. Uncle Capo taught me a thing or two about how to survive. It's why he's always so... No, I can't get distracted. This is too important. Listen to me. I came to find you as soon as I heard what my uncle asked you to do. I just wanted you to meet him, not go on one of his stupid escapades. What do you think? You have to put the heart back. Or take it away. Whatever you do, don't give it to him. No, it's not. Apparently, if you grind a fossilized Leviathan heart and mix it with wine, it becomes a poison. I found his notes on it. I think that's what he wants it for. I don't know. but he's been more and more upset lately. I'm afraid he believes he's so sick. He has no other choice. He's been a hero for so long. I don't think he can imagine a life in bed. You've got to put a stop to it. Any way you know how.
The wolf eats the hemlock. What suffering could be so great?
It couldn't be. It wouldn't be. He's not soulless or mindless. Not like those people at the gates. He's still himself. Whatever it is, it can't be worth dying for. Then we've got to go back. Right now. I'll go find the Tiranui. He'll know what to do. If you can talk any sense into him. Just hurry. I'll be there when I can. I will. I'll see you soon.
Fair winds, traveler. Haven't seen you around here. Welcome to Shatterscarp. Or, welcome to Shark's Teeth, anyway. Damn. I didn't think you'd actually talk to someone like me. Oh, well, I hope I'm not imposing on you. Listen, I've got to take some supplies to that tower up the road. They're for Kotoa and Hayako. Have you heard of them?
Never heard of them, but we meet a lot of people, and I'm not good with names.
They've probably killed more dream thralls than the rest of us combined. Well, they said, why shoot one when you could take out a dozen instead? That's what I'd like to know. These supplies will go a long way, if I can ever get them up there. This is my third trip today, and whew, it's a lot of stairs. I'm not sure. I've only heard them talk about fighting dream thralls. There's a lot of work to do, though. I don't think they'd turn down help. Keep going through the teeth. The tower is just over the ridge. You can't miss it.
I'm coming for Ludwig next. Gatsby, look out!
Why can't the way forward in science ever be easy? Oh, hello. I wasn't expecting to see anyone this far from Thirdborn. Are you... Your face! You're a godlike. That makes perfect sense. I had a terrible time trying to find a guide in Thirdborn who'd take me here. But meeting you makes it all worth it. Oh, you have. Oh, you'll make a very interesting footnote. I'm a mycologist, you see, and I'm working on a compendium of the different types of fungus in the living lands. Sure enough, what happens as soon as I show up? A fungus-based illness. There's a riot of data out here. See? You understand. That's why I had to document it.
Strictly speaking, the dream scourge is not a fungal infection, though at times it does resemble one. Trust me, it's far worse. Imagine a soul rotting from within, rampant with disease, alive yet putrid.
Oh, really? Huh. Well, that's disappointing. Actually, since you're here, I'm having some trouble with the sporlings. I've devoted my whole life to my fungal friends. But I'm finding that the ambulatory ones aren't quite as, friendly. In fact, they're quite murderous. I'd normally be against harming them, but please kill the sporlings before they kill me. Thank you. You will? Oh, you're a lifesaver. Maybe literally. Good luck. Oh, I've got to write these measurements down before I forget.
Oh, big mistake! Oh, that's hot! Behind you! Hot! Too hot! Looks like some soldier lost his badge. It's Rawatayan, so Kai would probably know more.
When you were out in the shark's teeth, you didn't happen to find a badge belonging to Tama, did you? It sure is. Reminds me of old times. Long marches under the desert sun. Scouting runs through sandstorms so thick we had to tie our tunics over our mouths. It was sunburn on your top half and chafing on your bottom half, but yeah, those were good days. And Tama, he'd wake us up before dawn with the most off-key singing you've ever heard and a pot of burnt merc brew. Only once I realized he was burning it so we couldn't taste how stale it was. He kept us marching until we had sand in every orifice you can think of, and a few you didn't know you had. Just when it felt like we were gonna collapse, he'd call it and we'd make camp. And somehow, we'd all find the energy for a few rounds of cards or songs or stories. He did. I don't know. This won't bring him back. This won't change anything. Because I'm a glutton for punishment? Here's the truth. I led a patrol. We were ambushed. Tama came to our rescue. And he suffered a fatal wound in the process. He was the color of an eel's belly. The stubborn bastard made it all the way back to Thirdborn. We got him a sickbed, but we knew he didn't have long. I wish I could believe that. You ever had to watch someone fade away? When it's slow and agonizing, no glory, no din of battle, no distractions. Then you know. It's like sitting still while someone drags rusty nails over your skin. Sitting there, I noticed that he was missing his badge. And all the time I'd known him, I'd never seen him take it off. Cruel irony, isn't it? He comes to our rescue, and in the process, he loses the thing that marks him as a soldier. I'm sorry, Envoy. I haven't talked about this in a while. Just having his badge in hand means more than you know. There's just one last thing I've got to do. There's a memorial site with some cairns on the cliffs east of Thirdborn. One of those cairns is Tama's. It's time I said goodbye. Envoy, never mind. Let's get some rest.
What's that fragrance you're wearing?
Singing sand, We feel the essence seep from the ruins. Time tempers a rocky surface smoothed by a spring rain. A lion kneels, a blight before it, spells and suspicion at its back. What ruled the land alone now seeks the safety of the pride. Let the vulture feed once, and the flock will never leave. We feel the people of Thirdborn huddle together in the dark. We smell desperation, panic. Then, the seasons change. They turn to each other. The rose does not depend on the moss to survive. We look deeper. Our limbs sift through sand. What do you know of this? We cannot tend the flower if we do not know its name. For years, we watched the Akita share their food and tie their hands. Gifts, promises. Why do they undertake these rituals? Still, the word eludes our grasp. Perceive the ocean in a drop. Do its waves sing to you? A bird in flight, a stag runs free. We knew this once. New leaves reach the impenetrable clay. A bush unfurls amid the suffering and strife and blooms. Nothing should live here. How can it sprout? From what well does it spring? Fifth, set apart from beasts. A calling beyond life and death. We have learned much. Dream of shimmering scales as you rest.